Okay, I'm ready to tell you about bridges. This is how I make my bridge. I make them out of any hardwood you can get your hands on. Uh, I like to make them out of wood because I like to work with wood, and the box is wood and everything else is made out of wood that I did by hand. And these compensating bridges are great. I like them, I've used them, but I prefer to make my own only because it's my own instrument and I like making my own. But they do work, and this harness that Mike makes, these here, right here, these things are golden. These are great. I use them because there's a ground string on it. You can see the ground string right here. And this ground I use to ground my bridges with. So when I put this guitar together, when the top, before the top is on, of course, I line this up with this string where I hold my strings here, and I drill a hole through here, and the hole comes out through the center of the hole for the string. And then I put that ground string, I take this here ground string right here, and I get it through there, and when it comes out in the center, I strip it back a ways. I strip it back about an inch, and when I can see it in the hole, I push it up the hole with an awl or something, and I get it up there, and then I leave enough that when I put this rivet in, these are just pop rivets, by the way. That's what they are. They're pop rivet heads. And when I push, once that ground string is stuck up, I push the pop rivet down, and before I seat it, I wrap it around the pop rivet and squeeze it closed. If you look close, you can see a little bit of the ground. And it grounds the strings, so you don't get so feedback. But if you break this string when you're playing, then don't face the amp, because you're going to get a lot of feedback because your ground is gone. But we don't worry about that. We play cigar box guitars. So cigar box guitars, remember, there are no rules. So that's what I do with my bridges. And this here is a jumbo fret wire, by the way. This is what I use as my bridge. It's a jumbo fret wire, and they're adjustable to the point where, if to get the intonation, you might have to turn it a little bit this way, a little bit that way. It's a little bit racked, a little bit crooked, but who cares? It works. And there's a pin in here. I put a wooden dowel in there so it only goes on one way. And when you put the new strings on, this could come out, but you can only put it together one way. And then you start lining it up again, and you start doing your tuning, and you get your intonation. Where it's right, it's right. So if it's a, see, there it works, see? So that's what it is. This is just a basic way of, it's a simple man's way of doing something that you could probably do better with this. But I know you can, because I've used these and they're good. But that's the way I prefer to do them. I prefer doing my own music and my own building, and I don't know, maybe it's just me.